Hello there. Tonight's shave, I want to share with you my first reknot of a brush. It's the knot is from a Simply Beautiful Pure Badger brush. I had two of them, and I thought, why not? No sense in really having two of the exact same brush. So this had, if you look at it, let me see if I can. It had an old nylon. It says Peerless nylon USA sterilized, a couple of things, but it's raised there. You might be able to see it that way, but it's an old Peerless nylon brush, one of the old nylon knots. And I thought, and I've used it for a while, but I thought, well, it deserves a bit better knot in it, so I put a Pure Badger knot in it, and I put about 4 nickels in the handle before I glued everything in, and that adjusted the weight of the handle and made it more to my liking. And it's just, I think it's a really beautiful brush. I'm a bowl latherer, so I tend to like the Pure Badger knots. This one isn't particularly scritchy compared to what they say a lot of them are. But, I just transfer lather from a bowl to my face, and I might do some circular motions to start with to kind of scrub it into my beard kind of deal. But after that, I'm using painting strokes, and it's really soft. And so, they're very economical. And to me, they do a really good job. Now, if I was face lathering, and I got the knot, like I said, I got it from a Simply Beautiful Pure Badger knot brush that I had that's just like this one. And all I did was fill my sink full of hot water from the tap and let the brush soak for about 5 minutes. Took it out and grabbed it at the base of the knot, and it popped right out. And I mean, you can see how cleanly that thing popped out. I mean, I've done no cleanup or anything like that to this handle. It just popped right out whole. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to nib one of their silver tip extra hair, or one of their finest badgered, depending on what I can get in the size for this handle. And I'll have another nice little badger brush for $28 with some glue. We're going to use Barrister and Mann's Seville, and absolutely love Barrister and Mann of any stripe that I have ever used. And we're going to go ahead and load this up. Here lately, I've been more enamored. Since I got my Simpson Duke, I've become more enamored of Badger brushes. Now, I've always really liked, like I said before, the cheap little Pure Badger brushes. I like them. I mean, I've got another little Pure Badger brush here that's a vintage 500 PBT Ever Ready, and it's got a Pure Badger knot in it, and I love that brush. And the Simpson Best Hair is wonderful, and I've come to like how the Badgers lather. I don't know. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not giving up my boars. I love my boars. But there's something about the way a Badger brush, I think it's the way they retain water, but I'm not sure. But there's something about the way that a Badger brush whips up lather that I tend to really like. Like I said, I'm not sure if I can put my finger on it. But I'm beginning to love them. And I've come to the conclusion that it's really easy to make badger brushes. I mean, to assemble them. The knots and the handles are readily accessible, and it really just takes a very small amount of know-how when it comes to gluing a knot in a handle, you know, and maybe you might need to, if you want a different loft height or something like that, just simple kind of work to lower the loft, you know, and get what it is you want. And I mean, there's a lot of new brush makers out there, and that's a wonderful thing. But for me, you know, I can make a brush exactly the way I want it, pretty much. I can do it myself. And so I think that's pretty much what I'm going to be going with in the future, is mostly just make the brush myself, make what I want, and enjoy the process. You know, I love, and see now right now, I love that. That's not super scritchy at all. It's got a little bit of scritch, a little bit of scrub that I really like. I could scrub my face with that all day. It wouldn't bother me a bit. I know other people have more sensitive skin than I and stuff like that. And nothing wrong with that either. Each of us have got to do what works for us. But I have a soft spot for the cheap little badger brushes. And so that's really cool, you know. But we're going to use, let me dry my hands off. We're going to use a straight today. Praise God. I love my straights. But my Boker SS St. Louis. It was getting a little dull, so I put it to the home. And the strops. And my good buddy is up and running again. On all cylinders. I've been playing around with with passes lately. And it seems like the standard with the grain, cross the grain, nick myself a bit on the chin, that's all right. Patterns are not really working for me. And so what I've come up with is kind of combination passes for different areas. Of my face and neck that help me get a bit closer and more comfortable shave. So you won't see me doing standard with the grain pass one time all the way and against the grain. There'll be combinations in each of the passes that I do of what I think gives me a better shave. I want to hit that with a little styptic. I don't see it bleeding, but I don't want blood in my brush. I've said it before. I know people will say, well, that's your blood and all, and you know, but if I were to ever give a brush away or piff it or anything like that, sell it kind of deal, then I would want to keep my blood out of it. I know that, you know, on the forums, you get on the forums and there's 1,000 threads. Oh, that's not going to make any difference. Anything that's in the brush, by the time you give it to anybody, he's dead. And all this other stuff, I understand that. They're probably right. I just don't like the idea of it. I also don't like seeing, you know, you put this white lather on. I've seen people do it on shave videos, and it looks nasty to me, and I don't want to be nasty to people. There are people watching this shave. You know, you put the white lather on and the blood boils up and you see this big red bloody streak in the... You guys don't want to see that. I don't want to show it to you. So, you know, that's the deal with that. So, it's cool if you look on like the wet shaving videos Facebook page. There's a lot of new guys that are getting into video and stuff like that, and that's really cool. It's cool to see new people. It's really cool to see the enthusiasm that some of them have for wet shaving, and some of them for the straight razor as well. just be careful. This is a really, really sharp blade. It's a really, really, really sharp, razor sharp blade, guys. And a lot of you guys are coming from carts, and you're not used to the fact that you've got a really super sharp edge that doesn't have lovely. It doesn't have any kind of safety to it except your brain, you know. And I love seeing all the new straight shavers. Just please be careful, especially when that blade is open. It's absolutely lovely. I think I'm going to do a bit of cleanup right under there and along the edge of my jawline, and hit the chin again. Just, you know, I've been seeing guys, I don't know how to describe it, but I've been seeing guys, they'll start to shave a certain way, and you can obviously tell they're having trouble, the razor skipping and doing all kind of stuff. And I've been seeing them push through. And to me, you need to find the angles that work. Don't worry about what everybody else says, cross the grain, against the grain, with the grain. Shave the areas of your face the way you can shave them safely. All of that's going to come. Just be careful. Don't push. When you start having trouble and the blade starts skipping and stuff like that, that's a sharp edge. Now, some of the guys that have more experience, know when they can push and when they can't. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're just a few months, 2-3 months into shaving with a straight, be safe more than anything else. Be safe. All the other stuff will come. Just be safe, you know. Because that's what I want, you know. I started doing this because I wanted to encourage people to learn to shave with straight razors, DE, single edge, whatever kind of razor it was that tripped the trigger. For me, straights trip it more than anything else, but I love them all. But I started, oh, that's lovely. I started it because I wanted, you know, I wanted to encourage people. And I still want to. And it's wonderful to see the new guys. I just want people to be safe. All right, enough ranting about that. Wonderful shave. I'm going to put me some Pinaud Clubman on, because the Barrister and Mann Seville is an absolutely wonderful barbershop type scent. And I can't really imagine very many. And I've got a couple. The Barbasol is a wonderful barbershop scent. So is Aqua Velva Blue, Ice Blue, that kind of deal. But the spice in the Seville and this kind of spicy note that this has, I think, are wonderful for each other. And so, anyway, that's the shave. Thanks for joining me. God bless you. I'll see you on all the forums and fauna, of wet shaving, the Facebook groups and the Google Plus and all of that. Bless you, and keep shaving. Later.